What does it take to train the next generation of Ugandan animators? Well, this week we're back to Katoto Studios to find out just that.
Over the past month, the first ever East African animation bootcamp has been taking place right here in Uganda in these studios in collaboration with Gobelin and the French Embassy.
That's right, Maria. This week we're bringing you an exclusive interview with Shen Yi, an artist, animator and director and one of the mentors of the program.
We're going to find out what we can learn through animation about storytelling and identity and how Uganda's art can play a part in this.
So let's attend the part.
Saula.
First of all, welcome to our lovely little country. You've only been here for what, under a week? You arrived on Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday.
Okay. So, I want to ask what the first impression was. I won't ask about your general feeling of the country because you've only been here a few days. But what are your first impressions?
My first impression is how similar this place is compared to my hometown.
Okay.
Because I grew up from the southeast coast of China, which is kind of a subtropical, like 4 seasons of green, full of banana trees.
Oh, bananas.
Yeah, full of banana trees, full of sugar canes.
Yeah.
Sugar cane.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. And the rains and the humidity in between the air. Like the first time I get out of the airport, I just like, I feel like home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my first impression that my body told me.
So you feel like you're home?
Yeah.
It's safe to say you feel like you're at home?
Yeah.
Not just about the environment, but also with the people?
Yeah. And people are very warm, very welcoming, you know,
Yeah.
and super nice. Yeah.
So you
But
gotta
you know, that's
think.
what people always say when they travel somewhere. They're like, the people are so warm. So it's like maybe you're saying what we want to hear.
Do you say that about everywhere you go though?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, right?
Not necessarily.
I feel like I have a lot of, places that I could,
Yeah.
I'll definitely never go back to, but like,
For example.
I'm
Okay.
gonna fall for that one.
Okay.
Okay, so is this your first time? This is your first time in East Africa?
Yes. First time.
Africa in general?
I've been to Morocco 2 years ago. About
That doesn't even really count.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
it's-
what I say.
exactly.
Like Africa.
it's
but-
nothing to. It's not comparable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just like Africa, right?
Yeah.
But it's such a huge continent, like
Yeah.
So obviously,
But you're definitely a long way from home.
yeah.
Yeah. What made you decide to be a part of the bootcamp? Because that is the reason that you are here. That is the only reason that has brought you all the way up to here.
Because it's more. I don't know. I'm this kind of person that I would love to. I'm very curious. I would love to travel to explore like different places. But it's actually just like an incident. One of the days that I was visiting back to Gobelin to say hi to teacher.
Yeah.
And during the talk, and one of the teachers was like, "Shen Yi, you do storyboard, right?" I say yes, and she's like, "Do you want to go to Uganda?" And I say yes, immediately.
No
Yeah.
questions, just yes.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Yes, and what is it about? And because of course, like I heard before, Gobelin is like different partnership with all different countries, right? All different continents. So when I say yes, of course I have some certain expectation. It might be something similar.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes,
Let's do it.
Yes.
And I mean, it's Uganda. So.
yes,
Yeah, but
yes.
So what exactly are you doing?
Yeah.
Because you've been here since Saturday?
Yeah.
So what have you been doing, or what brings you to Uganda? What's the bootcamp about?
Wow, big question. The boot camp, I think Richard might be the better one to answer the question, but it's to kind of
How you understand it, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. Yeah.
how I understand is like try to set up as this workshop experience to that a young artist, young voice, original voice to be able to not only have a few months of professional experience, training, and also to be able to let them tell their own stories.
To tell their own stories.
Yeah.
Speaking of stories, you say that you do storyboarding, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
you tell. What do you do? What's your link to this boot camp?
Okay, so I do storyboard. I was art director as well, but anyway, like other things doesn't matter. But the point that bring me here is I'm always obsessed with storyboard, which is one of the steps in the pre-production.
Yeah.
That was so since graduate, so I have like 6 years of experience in the industries and some experience, and some experience of teaching in Gobelin, like a system to kind of, for example, being a tutor for summer school as an animation teacher, or sometimes to help them to become just one of the jury member to recruit the master program. So combine things together, that's what brings me here.
Okay. So how is the bootcamp going so far? Has it surprised you in any way? Is there?
Yes.
Great.
It's just because of the originality of the stories and the content, because it's a place I've never been.
Uganda.
Yeah. I'm literally a person who comes from another corner of the world who knows nothing about anything about this place. Yeah, everything is new. Of course, like you know this country before, like of course, but all this kind of like you do some research before this like birthplace of Nile, Lake Victoria, etc. But for the true experience, I seriously don't know what to expect.
Do you think that? Okay, so speaking about stories, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to jump into the question of what sort of stories have surprised you the most, because every country that you go to has its own traditions,
culture,
things that make the people, their lived experiences are always different. So what has stood out for you from the students that you've been training? What sort of stories are you living with?
First, I have a question. Can I go to the detail, or is it like a spoiler too much? Or what kind of a?
You can go into detail.
Yeah,
because when
like
we
a
air
summary.
This, you will have
left.
You would have finished the training part.
Okay. For me, each project is it's hard to choose.
Okay.
It's hard to choose because it's 5 projects that is located in the context of Uganda, or at least East Africa, but based on the time from the past till modern.
Okay.
And from kind of a semi-realistic comedy sketch to the mythology.
Yeah.
So it's very it's almost like, how can I compare a watermelon with banana? No, not banana. Okay, watermelon with
Potato.
exactly just different species, and different type of with a tree, So for me, I might be the worst person to answer this question.
How do you decide? I mean, like being on a jury.
Yeah.
If you're having difficulty, like saying, okay, this one is my favorite, how do you decide? How do you make such tough decisions when it comes to selecting
Evaluating,
your
You mean jury for?
Like when you
generally,
like in general.
like your applications, or selecting
Like
who's the
what
best.
Okay.
What do you?
use as a measure.
Yeah.
First, what I can give is only from my very limited experience
Yeah.
and prejudice. So, but at least that is kind of like honest kind of
Yeah.
feedback from me, and also based on the system, like if it's the context of here, let's say, like I often tell the students here that is like, you don't have to convince me or please me because of my personal taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more of like, you need to
Be true to yourself.
be true to yourself, be sure and aware about what's your intention, what's the core of the project, of the stories, and convince each other
Yeah.
and be aligned in the same page, and serve this boat together, of this experience. So I'm here just to give you a proposal. So what if this, and just, hey, what about, give another perspective.
Yeah, just to mold the idea.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
idea is
So
already there, but you're
yeah.
just finessing it.
So for me, it's not like I'm here to drop here to dominate. Hey, like listen to me, 1, 2, 3. You know, that is not the point of the bootcamp, right? That would be kind of I'm like yeah, dictating and free labor, like please me, portrays my dreams, right? That's not the point of this bootcamp.
We'd love to know if there are any stories, since you can't go into the details about the ones we're working on here. If there is any way that the stories sort of mirror some of the stories you have back home, or some of the experiences that you have back home. Yeah.
It's a project I've been working on, and it's a story. I'm not going to detail as well, but it's about a father and daughter.
No one gives details.
Yeah, sign the NDA, please. No, but it's more of the general. It's not about the context itself, right? The story, the intention is different, but it's just really the sensation of the sound.
Is similar.
Yeah, how can I say that? Some part of the experience would be very similar, because just the fact that the characters are wandering around in the town, and ups and downs, and crossing these banana trees, and the border, and the
so
city traffic, and it's
the
very
scenery will sort of look.
exactly. So so it's more of this like sensation parts that you see, like those kind of sound really brings me back home. I keep distracting.
Have you been on a border, by the way? Have you
No,
been on a border in
no, not yet.
You haven't been on a border? You
Not
know,
yet.
Maria has a book called On the Back of the Border.
Oh my
She
God.
illustrated a book. We're talking about
Really?
borders, so I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, I will. I'll bring it tomorrow and you have a look.
Perfect. Please,
She did a book
please,
On
please.
the back of a border,
Yeah.
and it sort of like shows you like the crazy things that
That
you see. I don't know about your country, but in our country,
Yeah.
we've seen some crazy
Some
things
trade
on
on
the back of a
borders,
border.
yeah. So like you put anything on a border,
like
you can
a
carry
bed,
anything.
a sofa.
Yeah.
So do you
Yeah.
do? Yeah.
It depends on the region, because I grew where my parents grew up from a village, and which I will often pass to visit time to time. And there's not that much different compared to like the slum. But of course, like when people talk about China, the modernizations, all these parts, like no, you don't have that. Everything is.
Imagine it, yeah.
But actually, it's very diverse, and it's kind of a modern and tradition all clash at once.
Really?
Yeah.
In the main city or like throughout the
No, like main city, of course not, but in the countryside, and it just because of where my roots, right?
Yeah.
You have
So-
to go there. So
Yeah. So
get
from
exposed.
that nowadays it will be more difficult to see this kind of creativity inside the city, because the modernization is just like unified,
Yeah.
centralization, and everything is just very cold and
Mechanical.
yeah, without anything. But if you move more towards the countryside, you will see how it's like the plant, they just adapts on whatever the situation, the rocks, the sands, and they will just grow up. They just make their life living. So go back to the border, or what any kind of interior, exterior of the house, just the look of the city. Each place, each family has their own way of living, and they're thriving from inside out visually.
Okay, speaking of culture, because I mean, what you're also explaining is a little bit a culture thing, a way of life. How has culture played into this whole bootcamp? How has it How has it influenced the storytelling
stories,
from your candidates or from your students?
Because this is a tricky question, because obviously it affects in different way for each film. I would, in terms of how, I think I would really need to know more, like chew more about the culture by itself, because no matter what I say now, it's nonsense. But I can just base on my impression. It's really like culture in the way I see is really like the context, the situation, right? It's a box. This story happens in this room of which is formed by this surface of culture, and but maybe the other side, there's another kind of culture of bubble. But at the end of the day, we're telling the story of people.
Yeah, but are you getting a glimpse? Are the stories that you've seen so far
Giving you
like a clear idea of
how
I mean, it's impossible to
Ugandans.
see it all,
Yeah.
but are you getting a better
You get an
understanding
idea.
of how
Exactly.
how Ugandans live or the things that make us who we are? Is
Exactly.
this something that you're seeing a lot of in the story?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
getting like an
I'm just
understanding?
having have a first few bites of it.
Yeah.
So, and also since now we're still in kind of the middle of the program, so
Yeah.
I will answer your question better by the end.
By the end.
Yeah, by the end. But yes, I start to have more and more things to see, like from this different perspective, no matter, from the ancient till modern, like
Speaking of like influence and everything, right? Something I'm really curious about is that okay, so now you have a glimpse into Ugandan culture,
Yeah.
but when you go outside, like outside the bootcamp, are you able to apply what you've learned from the stories to the
Other,
general context, the bigger picture?
the bigger, maybe international, like on
Yeah.
the international.
Not even international, but I'm just saying, like, okay, so you see one story talking about, I don't know, I'm not a storyteller, so I cannot even imagine what stories you see. But then, like, you know, when you go out, because I imagine today you were out, did you see some of this? Did you see some of the life, the everyday life? Did the stories
Sort of
sort
come
of,
to
like,
life.
come to
Yeah.
life?
yeah,
Come to life.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Did they?
I've been able to see, like, just in the very limited few days, you know, a little glimpse of uptown, downtown,
Ah, okay.
you know, local street food at night, you know, and some of the bars, you know, and like went to, yeah. And for example, like Louis took me to his place, his parents' place. So we're
Okay.
here, like have a little walk just around, and of course there's so many things we can point out about like how different
They are. Yeah.
they are. But actually, like
similarities.
the more place I've been, like the more I see is really
Yeah.
the similarities.
Yeah.
And the more the stories, I suppose, make sense because
Yeah.
now you're actually living
Like
it,
you're
in a way,
seeing
you're
it.
in the movie.
Yeah. You get
Yeah.
some on-ground experience.
Exactly.
So what I want to know is that seeing how after your experience with the bootcamp and your extensive experience with Goblin and you know your own record, our industry is definitely very, very young. Yes, not so. So what do you think we have to do as artists to like grow to like maybe let's say France's level? Yeah.
What can we do to
What
up
can
our
we do
game?
to like what work are we gonna have to do?
Put in?
It might sound vague, but I seriously mean it, which is just keep trying. It's like, for example, what I just come back. You know the film director.
Yeah.
The
You can talk
direct-
about it. I think. Yeah, the Wakaliwood.
Yeah, the
film director.
Wakaliwood,
Yeah.
like the African Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, is he? Is that what he looks like to you?
the that's the one of the titles that's been given.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
On the global.
Is that what they call him, or is that
Just
what he
like
calls himself?
Documentaries, but
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
it's the my point for this is really like how fearless, like
He is. He's
what
a
do whatever
punch.
it takes, right? It's the
try
opposite
things.
opposite of perfection.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really to finish once, then after based on this experience push, you can have that you have one full experience. Then you can learn from your
From
own
that
mistakes.
experience.
Then you can start again.
I feel like
So-
this makes so much sense. Like, you know, when we spoke to Richard and Katoto,
Yeah.
and he was talking about, like, you know,
Trying to be.
trying to be like
Striving,
perfect,
yeah.
striving to be perfect.
Exactly.
But you know, the whole process of you have to do
trying
it and do
again,
it and
yeah.
keep doing it.
You keep
Like, is
learning.
it like a philosophy of Gobwa?
I hope so, but I think
Because like
I think this is-
there's a thing like, you know,
Like
it feels like a
ye-
philosophy that all
That
of you carry.
yeah.
oh okay.
Of like,
So
you know,
of
trying,
Goblam,
keep trying. Yeah.
I cannot answer this question. Philosophy of Goblam.
everyone.
I'm not present.
Represent-
Goblam.
yeah.
I cannot say yes or no.
No, but because you've passed through, and
Yeah.
also Richard has passed through.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
we get
The
the same
feeling speaking to you about this whole like you have to keep doing it until you get it right. Like you don't stop until you get it right. You try and try and try.
Yeah, in a way it's similar because the experience how Gobelin has been said is like the student comes and learning all this skill on communication things by doing the project.
Okay.
There's like breakdown from like a little individual exercise till group collective
okay
of like like a 1 minute short film or like NC project and till the end like the graduation film.
yeah
So you get the chance to do like a different
They're no
Different
shortcuts, so
levels
you have
of-
to go through it.
exactly.
from
So
start.
within at least like a two years of master, you'll be able to do at least like two little like a few and with the project, the final project. But each year will be different based on the coordinator's plans also.
okay
But the profession, this like a professionalism, it really depends on individual. For example, myself, I am suffering seriously.
perfectionism
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's always easy to give others like criticism,
slow
like
down.
advice, But when it's you and yourself,
It's never right.
it's a constant battle. It's a
I
constant
think
battle.
we all suffer from that.
Yeah, like everyone
It's
more or
an
less.
artist thing, right? I feel like it's an artist thing.
You have it too, Stella.
It's
I'm an artist. It's
Okay.
wanna be. But I
Well.
feel like it's an artist thing because like you do it with your work as
Yes.
well. Like
like
it's never right.
Yeah.
Like somebody has to tell
To
you
keep-
it's
stop,
okay.
like,
Stop now.
stop, yeah.
But otherwise you feel like you have to
you
keep
can
going.
keep adding something
Yeah.
more and more.
I think
think
it's an
it-
artist
yeah.
thing. It's an artist battle.
Yes, but there's some people are just the obsession, right? Like
Yeah.
go to gyms or whatever. It could be anything, right? The perfection of different form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can call them artists as well, like the obsession of one passion of certain how they say
I
as
think you're
beauty.
saying,
I
you're
might
saying
guess.
it's an artist thing because we've been talking to lots of artists and
Yeah.
it ends up being a prevailing trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, this is like at least based on my experience, like it's a common pattern. Like
Yeah.
many people,
Do it.
it's a constant battle.
I think even right now with like the global, like you have access to so many people's art, so there's that comparison. You see someone's art and you're like, oh, this person's stuff is really good.
Yeah.
I have to keep going.
But that's the beauty of it. Like we have such beautiful examples. We have people who have like achieved the best. And
Yeah. So
to,
you
to
Yeah.
think that you want to do that.
Aspire.
You want to. It's very good. It's very encouraging. And
Encouraging,
it's
yeah.
really nice that you're here with what you've achieved and what you've done, trying to inspire like Ugandan talent, the
Yep.
young Ugandan talent. So it's
Yeah.
worked on so many projects, like international projects, like the BBC Winter Animation and The Best Friend. And
that was his, I think, your graduation.
Yeah, Christian film.
that was
Yeah.
your graduation film.
Yeah.
So
But you've also worked with so many artists or animators
from
from different walks of life. What sort of advice do you have for them to, what sort of advice would you give to artists or the people that you're working with right now? What sort of advice do you have for them
yeah, because
through
I
their
think
process?
there's so many, because there's so many artists out there. Like,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
do you make yourself
Stand out.
stand out?
Yeah.
Be truthful to yourself. Because of course, like if we're only thinking about
Fame.
how to stand out, then our priority is to compete with each other. Depends on different contexts of situation. Then again, this might be kind of same thing that we talked about before as like a professionalism. It's like no, it's not good enough. It's not balanced enough. Why? Because we're compete in our heads with
Competing more.
some people surrounding us or like some of the great masters, right? I'm not so. So we are just like often like overjudging ourselves, like.
But don't you think that's part of the process of finding
Yeah.
yourself?
Yes, but the things to how to navigate is like really. But then why are we doing this as whatever we call ourselves artists or
Yeah.
different using different various different media is for self-expression,
Yeah.
right? If it's competing ourselves, of course, then there will be still this might have nothing wrong, but that won't be. the artist might not be the priority of their identity. That would be more like they are more professionals. They're they're doing service work, right? We're doing for the big companies to purchase their exactly. They're working in the big team. There's nothing wrong about that. But if we are talking about the context of artist, it's just my personal opinion is like the artist is the person who do whatever it takes, the media, but for self-expression. It could be a story, it could be just a whining, it could be just a connecting with emotions. So that might be different. And how can we do that? But the self-expression is related to like honest, like how to make peace with yourself, or how to be honest, like it's like stand-up comedy. Like good stand-up comedy is like almost like being naked in front of the audience, right? Show your vulnerability, show your true traumas, and how to so share this kind of.
Okay, yeah, I know, I agree. To like show the truth, like your true traumas.
Part of it, because animation is a media, right? Like films are not media, but different people come to this industry. It's a way of kind of how we define it, right? But different people use it as like intermedia, like very abstract artists. But some are more like story is king. There's no type of thing.
Story is king.
Right?
I had this line before, but somebody was disagreeing.
No, I disagree as well. I disagree as well.
Oh my goodness, I feel like you guys from the same school have the
Same philosophies.
No. It's there's different people. It's just different individuals. But
okay, so to draw a parallel, why do you disagree?
Because for me, the animation, the gold, not the gold, like again, my opinion. It's audio-visual art. You bring people to an experience from the beginning till the end. It could be a music video. Is there a music video has a really like some story? Is it necessary to have all the music video have the narrative?
Like it doesn't have to have
stories though. I mean, like
okay, like if we look at it,
strippers and.
Why would you go for the strippers first?
Something
okay, like dance
and put like a like buildings talking to each other. Okay.
Exactly.
You could interpret it.
Exactly.
But I mean like.
Okay, let's think about it like a painting.
I give you an example. Like like cabbage or pork.
Okay.
Or what kind of a food material? I always talk about food, but anyway, so let's imagine.
I don't always talk about strippers, but okay.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly. So let's imagine if we live in a world that there's only one way to cook pork, let's say.
Okay.
How boring this would be, like the world we're living. There's so many variations. It's just depends on the taste. Some people, okay, story is king. There's nothing wrong about that.
Okay.
But there's some people, okay, I just want to express myself. It's like okay, like literature. There's poetry. There's all different kind of way of writing. There's like how can I say, mind maps kind of way, just dropping words. And there's fictions. There's short story. How can we compete with this to say okay, like the fiction is the function, the rest is so. It again, I don't have to convince you, but it's just my point.
Yeah. No, I get
it's on the taste. People get what you want, and that's great, right? Some people want a bit more spicy. Some people want have a bit like a vinegar.
Everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, like,
like okay, I can't say that I get it, but like
No, I see it a little bit.
Yeah.
I get it a little bit. I feel like you couldn't escape story, but I get how you could approach it without approaching it with story as the central thing. Yeah.
Story is important, like, based on what you want, right?
Yeah.
But of course, like if in this kind of a Hollywood base of like a classic 3 acts, or of course, like this is important. If you're talking about drama, if you're talking about this like classic, like Shakespeare, whatever, this is important.
Story,
But there's other form of writing, and that is to. But it doesn't stop us to feel the artist, the writer, the feelings, all the ancient points, like they passed away so many times, but every time we read the words, we still can feel the sensation.
Yeah.
But is that really storytelling? Is it reading this? It's not. It's not. You see what I mean? I'm just saying there's guys like
So it's it's the storytelling. Is that what you're saying? Anyway,
Let's agree.
okay.
yeah,
Let's agree. that
This
everybody-
become very philosophy. First,
Yeah.
what's story,
Yeah.
right? How to define this word, and what is storytelling, right?
yeah.
But again, I will agree though. It's might not, in my opinion, it's not every animation or films need to tell a story. Right. First,
It can
people
just be art.
people just cannot be agree on what is story first. They will never agree on one thing till the
I
end of the
agree.
war, right? But it's our part, like storyboard. It's a way of navigating the
interpretation.
experience, right?
Yeah.
How can you? So that is visual storytelling.
Okay.
That's throughout the visual.
Oh my God.
But again,
Okay.
but that is the thing.
Story, storytelling,
It's because
but
of
yes.
the words that we're using. Like
yeah.
I already told them in the class. I personally don't be a big fan of storyboard. This word that using each time
Okay.
because I would rather use as beat.
You
Beat
lost
board.
me, but okay.
It's,
The rhythm.
it's like a rhythm. It's like a music. Is there a story? The music is so abstract, but
I feel like if you think
but
about
music
it,
has the power
Music-
of
music
storytelling.
has a story.
Exactly,
Guys, like,
exactly.
Seriously, every time I hear music, it's speaking to me. It's taking me through a journey. It's taking me through like I can literally,
experience.
I feel like I can literally see the mind of the composer, or I'm on that journey with them through that music. So
Yeah.
for me, it's a story. But again,
let's agree.
let's agree to disagree because I feel like
Yeah.
I'm even getting confused right now about storytelling. But okay,
Okay,
story
before the
is
mosquitoes.
big, but not for all.
Before the mosquitoes finish us.
The equatorial experience.
Lovely. I mean, we wanted you to really get the
Nice.
full Ugandan experience.
Nice. Eat me up.
Yeah.
We're vaccine though, so-
Yeah. I mean, to get here, you have to have it. So, I wanted to take you back to the bootcamp and ask you if you feel like this kind of initiative is worth it. Like,
Yes.
when you do something like this,
Yes.
does it achieve what it sets out to achieve most of the time? And will this one, does it look
Yeah.
like it has the potential to succeed?
Yes.
And succeed at what?
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
very big question.
What do you think it's gonna succeed at? I mean, you can speculate. You're allowed to speculate.
I think it's okay. If we are talking about short time succeed or long term,
Yeah.
Oh my
Right.
goodness, are you like you're such a teacher? You're such a
No,
educator.
like,
not
You're
necessarily.
looking at it in such a
A whole like
the whole
co-
spectrum,
yeah.
like short term, long term.
I think it's just based on the personality. I'm just not like this black and white person, which is
Okay.
will be very annoying
Yeah.
to have a conversation sometimes because
Yeah, with one
you will very easily to just
Say
I
it.
end up like it depends, right?
it
So
depends.
then we go to nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know if you're talking about okay, that's gonna be have some huge hit like this part. I don't know about the cultural context. Only be here for
3, 4,
three.
5
Yeah.
days. Yeah, 5 days.
Because I'm not stay here to enough to know the audience here. But at least those, what I know is like those stories, those short films. Each one, it works on me.
Yeah.
It has a huge impact on me. I can only speak to myself. I cannot say okay.
Everybody is going to love it.
Yeah. But one thing that I'm sure is, for long term, this is like it's more of a training program
Yeah.
that, like people for the first time more or less, we have this collective way of working, and from the beginning till the end, right? Because we are all so tired of just fighting this battle alone.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, there's only one person in this project and we're just trapped on this thing, but
So
this
has
experience
brought
is
people-
gonna unlock so many things, so many possibilities, potentials in the future for individual or some of the people just get along with so well, and there's something more. You know, that's a starting point. This is why it's so exciting. How to go there, when to, you know, I have no idea, but it's very excitement that I'm very exciting. And I'm very honored to be like part of it. Really, it's very exciting.
It's a diplomatic answer, but it's a good answer.
It's really nice though, because like, you know, when you think about it, like, I feel like I don't want to say that everybody in the bootcamp started from zero. I don't want to say that.
But we do have people who started from scratch,
But the fact that all of you are taking in the same information or the same training, some people are taking it, some people probably, everybody is interpreting it differently. But to see that it's going to be like expressed differently by everybody in there, it's just incredible.
Like it's the potential.
I cannot wait to see the stories that come out.
And especially different people come from different backgrounds, different tastes, different skill sets, and how to work as together. Like this experience is gold. This experience is so important.
Do you think there will be others born from this? Or
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. That's Richard.
Are you going to come back to Uganda to do like training?
I mean,
I would love to. I would love to. I'll only be here for like.
Not in Kampala. Though,
Yeah.
Like, you know, out of Kampala.
Out of
I want to see
Kampala.
like, you know, what people in the countryside are doing. I want to see what.
but that's actually the duty of like storytellers. Like you're not supposed to tell just your stories. You tell the stories of those around you. Because that's how you get people interested in what you're saying. Same as us. I mean, we could have done a podcast about me and Stella doing whatever. I don't know. Something delicious food. Like we could have done a food podcast.
You guys must be hungry because this one is talking about.
We keep talking about food.
Cabbage.
Okay.
Cabbage. Why are you talking about cabbage?
Let's go grab a bite after this final question. I hope you can give us an interesting answer. You can actually take your time to answer it because it's based on your experience here so far. Because we know you've been here for a limited time. What story would you create about Uganda?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How would you
At glance.
Yeah. What could you tell? Like if you had to create something. I know it's not easy to come up with something
On the spot.
On the spot.
But it has to be something that has stayed with you.
I cannot really, you know, come up with the things with like
details.
A story. If that would be, I would be like okay, try to make a story but that is not.
What could you do? What do you think you could do?
From the little that you've seen, I don't know. Like, you know, obviously borders are something that is part of you.
Like somebody tells you,
but
give us an animation about your time in Uganda.
I would say it's more. I would try to, if it's possible, if I had a chance, I would try to capture like the vibe of people that here. It's more of because it's a place that it's economically it's growing and this kind of feeling of like there's hope for tomorrow. And
no, I get it because I mean I live it every day, but I get it.
Like to capture that tomorrow vibe, like
because it depends on a different period of time for different countries, right? Because that's how we feel back to China, right? Like this like economic boom and bubbles and tomorrow it will be better, and everyone's going there.
But being in it.
But obviously if you look at all the data, like it's reach out the peak that is now the people think differently, they feel differently. All this part is like
they try shift
the shape, the people's expectation would change, and that would really adapt, change their day-to-day living. And like in a very minor scale, if we look at carefully, but the only few days I'm here, I would see the people in the street, the people that I get to know this day. I feel this like fine. I'm like,
This life. with life. It's like growth. It's like watching a plant. It's like watching a flower unfold.
Yeah,
Like, you know, it's blooming where blossom.
Okay.
Like, it makes sense. I get it. I get it.
I would be interested to watch that. I would definitely watch something like that.
Yeah, but thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's been a
And
My
pleasure
pleasure.
to-
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I
And when
cannot
you
wait
go
to
back-
see what you've done.
Yeah, we can.
What you guys have done.
We can't wait to show you.
Have done.
Yeah.
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 See?
And
Exactly.
also when you go back there, let them know about Art and About. So.
Sabula.
After talking with Shen Yi, we are definitely looking forward to what comes out of this bootcamp and what our artists are going to produce.
And it's definitely true, Maria. And to our listeners, remember that art isn't just what you see, but what you feel and what you imagine. So keep creating, keep exploring, and keep tuning in to learn more about Katola's viral art scene. And like we always say, move with the art, stay with the story. Bye.